lose me. There's always been a mystery. All my life I've been told I belong at the end of the line, with all the other not quite, with all the never get it right. But it turns out they're the ones you were looking for all this time. 'Cause I'm just a nobody, trying to tell everybody.
I love it. Sing it right. We were doing karaoke off camera, y'all. Hey, welcome back to another episode of You're Beautiful, and I'm joined with Lindsay. Hi, Lindsay.
Hello, Brian.
Thank you so much for being a guest.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited.
Yeah, well, you know, it's so cool that you say that, because in text or emails, you know, there's no body language.
Yes.
There's no tone. So I have to tell you, like when we were texting, like I was feeling like the excitement. So did I get it right? Were you excited?
You got it right. You got it right. That's why Carson sent me, because she knows I love doing stuff like this, and I listened to your podcast where you interviewed TC, and I was like, man, it's such an awesome project. So I'm honored to be here.
That is awesome. Thank you so much. Now you're getting to witness the wound Brian guy. So, hey, I tell you guys a lot of times that, you know, during the commercials or right before, we get some pretty cool conversations. So I'm just going to jump in because I didn't get a chance to finish because we had to start the show. But we were talking about the Michael Jackson and the whole how the show came about.
Yeah.
And guess what? You ever seen a squirrel where you're concentrating and zing? Do you know I already forgot where I was going?
That's all right. You'll come back to it.
We're going to come back to that one. But this is so awesome. So, so a little bit of a backstory. TC mentioned AMARE. Did I pronounce that right?
You did.
Which then mentioned Carson.
Yes.
But Carson's so busy.
Carson's our executive director. She holds it down for us.
So she's the glue.
She the boss.
The boss. I love it. I love it. And then that's how I get to chat with you today.
Yes, because I am the eager beaver
Okay.
who loves to. I'm a super extroverted person in the office, so I love doing all the networking things. And
so what you're saying is by the end of the show, you're going to be the host, and then I hope. I'm loving this, and we just met. And listen, y'all think I'm goofy, okay? Well, I know I'm goofy, right? We just met. You beat me here to the studio.
Hey, I mean, I'm probably off the charts more than you. So
I want you to know that the professional way when we first met, the handshake, right?
yes,
And then I reached in for a hug. So
we go for the hug.
We go for the hug. And ladies and gentlemen, how many times do I talk on the episode? How therapeutic is a hug? I didn't get smacked. I didn't get a cup check. Okay, because I asked. So like I said, when I encourage you to hug, that doesn't mean you just walk up and hug on people. Okay,
This is true.
Be a little professional.
Good call.
But oh my goodness, folks, why are we talking about that? Because I'm telling you, I know what I'm going through right now, and I have my struggles. And remember, my struggles is not a competition with what your struggles may be. But the reason why I want to bring that up with knowing what I'm going through, that therapeutic hug, you just never know the thread, the tiny piece of rope that some people are hanging on to. You don't know what they're going through. And I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, a smile, a hug can make the difference for anybody. Just like, as goofy as it may sound, you see this Wired Energy guy, right? But behind the scenes, we were just talking about the bar briefly.
Mm-hmm.
And, we're going through some struggles.
Yeah.
And I'm really feeling for my partner because it's her dream and it's her vision. So I just wanted to say thank you for starting the pre-show off with a hug and love.
I love it. I appreciate that. I'm with you. I'm feeling it.
Well, and I see it because I see the shirt. And I absolutely love the first part. Be the reason. I mean, that alone right there. So, my wife and I, we always talk about the half cup empty, or, I don't know how the meme goes, but I'm always like, I see this place closing down. I see this struggles. And then she's always like, but you don't see the good, So I love seeing, be the reason someone feels seen and celebrated, heard and understood, accepted and respected, valued and loved. And ladies and gentlemen, I know I haven't even given Lindsay a chance to talk because I don't shut up. But how many times do we talk about silent representation? So let's just say Lindsay wasn't an extrovert, but she's walking down the street and you see this awesome and amazing shirt. Here's what's cool. If you stop and you read it, that shows character of what you're about. Matter of fact, and then I promise I'll shut up and let you talk a little bit. But this is so cool. So, yeah, I'm fat, okay? And why am I going with that? I was starving before I get here. I bailed, went to Hardee's real fast. Why am I telling you where I went to lunch? By the way, that's an unpaid commercial for Hardee's and Godfrey. But this is the part I want to bring up. You know how you have elevator music?
Oh, yeah.
It was 99.1. And not only were they playing it, it was almost like they was in the club playing it. So here I am woofing them down because you beat me here. No. But it was just so awesome that a franchise restaurant was just playing some joy music.
I love that.
And that gives me the fired up and the energy to, hey, look, we both dancing now. Where you guys at? Send your dance videos to us. Okay. So, woo! Down the steps, I'm out of breath. So I know you're on the show, and that's so awesome. Let me ask you this. Outside, because we'll bring up AMARE a little bit later, if I may ask, is there something that encouraged you and inspired you to be that extrovert and come on the You're Beautiful show?
Oh, well, first of all, like the mission of AMARE is really super powerful. And I am so overwhelmed with being able to be a part of it. I mean, and people don't know we're there. So I think that's really been on my heart this year. We've been talking a lot about it at AMARE because everyone is so focused on what we're doing and working with people that we don't really focus on marketing or networking or things like that. And I'm like, hey, I had a photography business in San Diego. So all those things are, kind of going in my mind. And I'm like, people on the street on Ferguson, downtown, whatever, don't know that we're there. And so it's really been important to me this year that we're screaming from the rooftops, because there are a lot of people that are hurting right now and struggling, and there is help available and it's free. So I want people to know.
She knows I'm Jewish. She threw in the free word. No, but so I got a little fib to tell you. So, ladies and gentlemen, you all know I tell you the show is unscripted, what have you. You just seen, I just walked in.
They did, yeah.
But I was so excited. I know this is going to sound goofy to those people who know emails and text don't have body language or tone. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, I really felt this excitement through our texting because you said you were excited, okay?
Well, I'm excited.
So I actually creeped.
You creeped? Oh my gosh! He's confessing.
Yeah, I'm confessing, right? Taking you to church,
Joe. What you got? What you got?
So the last 2 days, so I kind of I said I don't take notes, but I'm lying. I did, because I got you here through Carson.
Okay.
Who TC turned me on to Carson.
Yes.
By the way, shout out to TC. I think he just got his 25-year coin.
Yes, he did.
25-year. Proud of you, brother. Not only did I get to meet TC and learn about those resources, New Attitude Recovery, I also got to meet a gentleman, I don't know if you know Wayne Irvin, who does missions on the streets in St. Louis. And when I bring up his name and I see your shirt, one of the stories he shared with me is, they're out there, they use the term, not him, but people say soup kitchen, the haircuts. And one of my favorite things that he shared with me, and again, I'm going back to your shirt, move your arms again for a second, where it says, heard and understood. Seen and celebrated, heard and understood. One of the coolest things he shared with me, he said, Brian, I had someone crying when we were talking, and I just kind of asked, what's going on? He goes, you're talking to me. So the food is great. The haircuts are great. But somebody just feeling seen. Yes. So that's kind of what I love about these episodes, that I can go back and reflect at every guest that I had, and something sticks with you. And folks, absolutely, that's what I hope the show You're Beautiful does for you. So, and here, that's why we have guests. I know y'all get tired of listening to Trust, right? But today, by the end of the show, Lindsay might have something to say that resonates with you, because every guest, it resonates with me. And listen, if it doesn't resonate with you, do you have somebody in your family, somebody that you work with? When the Bible, and I told you I haven't read the Bible, but when the Bible says love thy neighbor, your neighbor is everybody you come into contact with. So if it doesn't work for you, but you kind of might know a little bit of something, say, hey, let me send you this episode. Watch this. These two people, they're dancing in the studio, because that's what we are. We're just everyday people. Yeah. And what we're trying to do. Thank you, Hentrick family, RiverBender Studios, for allowing me this airtime to get the word out there. And you see how excited I get? That's exactly what you were saying about nobody knows that you're there. I even have it, Tammy. So,
oh my goodness, Tammy.
in Wood River. So you guys are actually inside, partnered up with Riverbend Family Ministries.
Yeah, and I think 8 other nonprofits.
Yes. So, folks, trust is going to get wild here, okay? Especially when you talk about the word free. More powerful than that. So, like I said, I did creep. And I think, matter of fact, I watched the interview CJ from The Daily Show had with somebody from AMARE. And I love this. Come as you are. So when people come into Riverbend Family Ministries, AMARE, all these other affiliations that are in there, you don't have to be perfect.
Oh my gosh.
Come as you are.
We meet people where they are.
Yeah,
that's what we always say. Because if you have to qualify in order to receive services, then nobody qualifies. It's the same thing with our salvation. You know, it's like, God didn't say, after you become perfect, I will then die for you on the cross. It said, when we were still sinners. I mean, and that's how, I mean, that's not the same, obviously.
No, I know.
But it is, you know, it's a meet people exactly where they are. If they're not ready to go to treatment, if they're not ready to make the big changes, but they just want to start getting some questions answered and start to understand the process, then that's where we meet them.
And that's the biggest step, because, you know, no matter who we are, no matter what level of life we're at, that pride and that ego is so tough just to approach.
Well, and a lot of times it's shame underneath that.
Yeah.
It's a lot of shame and guilt because there's so, and it's overwhelming. I mean, we were just talking about this morning when TC was in the office with us, and
love you, TC.
Love you, TC. We were just talking about, you know, how a lot of times what's so difficult is not just taking away the things that you were doing that are destructive, but it's dealing with the aftermath and dealing with feeling your feelings that you were numbing and like having to kind of like overcome all these things and still function throughout the day. So it's a lot. Like people, I love being a family coach because I love being able to help family members understand the giant mountain that people have to face when they are approaching recovery or considering, because it is so hard and it takes so much strength.
And, you know, we're not even near the end of the show, but I just want to throw this out there for you. Whatever I can do, I've told this to Tammy, I lack time. That's... I do lack time. I had a very wise individual tell me one time, he says, Brian, if somebody ever asks you for help, right? And odds are, you know, they're usually going to ask you for money, right? Offer them what you have the least of. And like for me, it's time. And if they're not looking for that, then obviously they had a hidden agenda, you know, of what they were asking you for. I love that wise man. You know who I'm talking about. But going back to what I was saying, I don't know if you, because we just met.
Yes.
So you already see I'm a dork. Speaking of dork, I'm Dorky Dad on TikTok. I got a heck of a following, okay? But what I'm getting at is, you're absolutely right. I started this podcast about a year ago, and I'm falling short. I'm falling short in my mission. Now, I love it. It's about the one best thing that I do is every Thursday, I'm here, okay? So even though I'm scatterbrained, people who know me personally, they know that I don't turn the car off. I'm, you know, A to B. But where I'm falling short is, and I gotta tell you this, when I started the podcast, I have a new emotion that I wasn't anticipating. I knew what my vision was, to have guests on, so people could hear different stories that might, you know, your walk might be their walk or what have you. But where I'm falling short, and I would love the help in this, because first of all, what I was getting at, here's where I'd love to help you. Anything that you guys want to do, I have some pretty good social media platforms. I want to get it on blast, okay? So, for example, I'm going to throw another one out there. Steve Pegram, I love you. I don't know if you heard of Got Faith Ministry out in Jerseyville. So just a quick backstory. The Jerseyville Hospital was donated to Steve, who Steve then turned it into this monstrosity of awesomeness.
Wow. Food
pantry, clothes, same thing, you know, all free. And one of the really coolest things, I got to do like a monster, huge shout out, and I'm so bad. I thought it was this Saturday, but it was last Saturday.
Oh.
Tim Azell was with them at the Jerseyville Walmart.
Okay.
So, folks, where am I going at this? When we're talking about shout outs, you never know who you're going to meet, who's walking down the street. But that's where we need your help. I might, like, I don't know if you know this, but like one of my mentors is, I love Steve Harvey. Okay. Steve Harvey's who I resonate with, right? But the point that I'm getting across and the purpose of the show, we need your help. Matter of fact, I just created a new Facebook page called You're Beautiful. And my first thing out there is I need your help. Like I said, people get tired of listening to me talk. Matter of fact, my wife says, Brian, you just rewatch it just so you can listen to yourself talk. Well, maybe that's true. But anyways, folks, you just said it. There's a lot of struggles out there. And don't wait for that Facebook post where like, oh, I wish I would have known. You have no idea that simple hug, that random text that we talk about. Man, in a world so tough, just be kind. Right?
Absolutely.
I know, I haven't even let you talk yet. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go find some duct tape. So after the commercials, I can come back and let Lindsay do some talking. We'll be right back.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, ready? Future rocket scientist, we have liftoff, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. She's good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Ready for fantastic deals? Head to Village Dispensary, where every day is a celebration. Start your week with 25% off Dog Walker pre-rolls on Monday. Tuesday, enjoy 25% off Dibs gummies. On Wednesday, enjoy 30% off Nevada pens. On Thursday, it's 30% off CQ sodas, margaritas, and more. Friday, enjoy 3.5 grams of Megatron by NGW and Cronuts number 4 by Paul Bunyan for $25. Visit villagedispo.com and shop now.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
Be okay. Every moment I was sure I wouldn't make it through. I was safe because of you. I don't know how, but you take all my pain and you turn it into something better. Ooh, something better. There's not a tear that you let go to waste. No, you turn it into something better. Ooh.
I'm bad. Normally I have the lyrics up there so I could follow it. So like I'm jamming over here. I want to get down, but I'm looking for the lyrics.
Yeah.
Since there was no lyrics, this is one of the songs that you picked out. Tell me how this song sticks with you.
Man, I feel like it's what you've already been talking about.
Okay.
And because I feel like it's taken me a while to kind of figure out that, whatever it is that happens, to me or in my life or around me or whatever, and my perception of it doesn't really matter, but those things, God uses them, and it kind of blows me away. And so when I can be present with that, and even like the verse that I gave you from James is like, consider it pure joy.
Well, here, real fast, let's just do that. Let's pull
Did
that
I
up
skip
on the
I
screen.
skipped ahead.
No,
Sorry.
no.
I just
would you stop apologizing?
So consider it pure joy
The only time you
whenever you
apologize
face.
is when you don't invite me to dinner.
Okay,
here we go.
Trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Okay, so here's the cool thing about, so Francis Chan did a study about this book, but the word testing refers to silversmiths. So they, you have silver in like a pot, and there's fire underneath. So you heat it up, and as it heats up, the impurities come to the surface. And the silversmiths swipe off the top. And so the way that they know that the silver is purified is that he looks over it and sees his reflection. And so the idea that God is putting us under the fire and the impurities come out. So whatever it is that's going on, that happened in my life, and things that are going on that are hard or making me irritable or showing ugly parts, those impurities are coming out. And what I do with that is kind of up to me. But I feel like God uses those things to bring them to the surface and swipe them off. He wants us to be a reflection of him.
So let's finish that. Go ahead, you want to finish that?
Oh, let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything.
That's pretty powerful.
That's my favorite verse. And it's everything to me.
No, and I'm so glad that you shared that with me, because again, here's guilty. I have a Jesus podcast, but to clarify, it's about having a relationship with Jesus.
Absolutely.
Diving into the word's very important, but I'm honest. I don't know the Bible.
I love that.
But this is how I learn is, like, if I would have read that, not to be disrespectful, that wouldn't have meant anything to me, because I need that analogy, to better understand it, especially when you're talking about, here's this boiling and...
Yeah. Well, and it's the translation of the word, because people always talk about testing as if God is putting us in these tests to see how we're going to choose. And that's not what this is. So I love, listening to other pastors who understand the context and the translations and all of that stuff. Because I feel like the English translation is just not, it doesn't tell you much.
No, and so like I said, even though I don't know the Bible, I have invested in myself, because folks, that's what it's about. Going back to the Michael Jackson, the man in the mirror, it says, are you ready to make a change? Look in the mirror. So first of all, you could smack me after the show, but I'm calling you silly. You're silly if you're not investing in yourself. Okay. There's that old thing that I shared with you, and I'll just try it with you. Lauren Fries, you got me. Okay. But I'm just going to, I like this analogy to better explain where I'm going at with this. Okay. Where's a dream place you would like to go?
Bora Bora.
Oh my God, same here. The gazebo's on top of that blue water.
Oh my God.
Woo! Don't call me late for dinner. Call me for that flight. Okay. So let's pick Carson. Your boss. You love her, right? Well, you
I
gotta
do.
say that.
She's actually really awesome. I don't even have to lie.
There we go. Okay. So you and Carson are on this flight, going to Bora Bora. Nothing but excitement. Okay. But the plane starts to have turbulence. So this excitement starts to get scary. And then between you, there's only one oxygen mask. The oxygen mask falls. Do you let Carson have it, or do you take it? What do you do with that situation?
Ew. You're going to make me answer a question whether or not I'm selfish or not?
No, but this is where, we're going with the impurities.
Oh.
What would you do?
I don't know.
I said I never put on the spot, so I lied.
I would probably give it to her.
Okay, so I wouldn't really call that selfishness, because to be honest with you, I would like to say 9 out of 10 people answer that same thing. But here's where I was going at with this. What if you put it on you first, took a breath, and then shared it with her? The point that I'm getting across is, how can we help others if we're not right? So you can't answer that wrong, because same thing, if you're telling me I'm with my boy, I'm throwing it on my boy. But once I started establishing this relationship with Jesus, I started learning about self worth. Okay? So it's not a matter of selfishness if you take it first, because I want to get that in your head. If you're right, you're going to be in a better state of mind to help those that are around you. So again, but Lauren, the way she answered it, woo! So when I said 9 out of 10, she was the one who I was speechless, just like I was just in
what
there.
What did she say?
You have to go back and watch the episode. That's the only way I get the people watching. So it's Lauren
Go
Freeze.
back and watch the episode.
Yes, so it was with Lauren Freeze. But like I said, there's really no way to answer that wrong. I was just really trying to go with this. Folks, you are not doing yourself justice if you don't invest in yourself. I get it. We have busy schedules. The boss wants you at work. You got kids. There's mouths to feed. And there's all of that. You know?
Lots of mouths.
Yeah, I got 6. I don't know how my wife's always done it without me all these years, you know? But just, folks, please, I encourage you. When I came up with the title of this podcast, You're Beautiful, that's exactly what I want you to say when you look in the mirror. You're beautiful. Well, you're going to say, I'm beautiful, but I'm telling you, you're beautiful. And the whole part of this podcast is we just need to, and it took me a while to learn this. Somebody asked me, what is God? And it drove me nuts. Because I kept trying to answer. He's just like, no, you're overthinking. It probably took me a week. And then finally I sent him a text. God is love. So in order to spread love, you have to love yourself. So folks, I'm just wound. Okay, I forgot. We got a guest. Let's get back to our guest. Okay. Hey, I got another song that you picked out. Let me play this one real fast. I hope it's got lyrics for me.
Oh, probably not.
In the silence, I choose to believe you're working in a way. Though the future isn't clear to me, no, I trust you anyway. Every breath I breathe, oh, every breath I breathe, an invitation to believe you are creating something good. Oh, though this season doesn't tell my story,
I love this. And the unfortunate thing is the viewers don't get to see the video, but I absolutely love it when you just see hands in the air and if people are on their knees, because again, I told you I didn't grow up in a church. So when I first went to this church that I was telling you about before the show, guilty, okay? I'm looking around the room and I'm sizing people up and prejudging the way they dressed and who they are. But I have to tell you, and this is true story, Holy Spirit in me is when people were receiving the word and they were getting it, like all my prejudgment went out the window because I can't make this up. This is what gets me to where I'm at today. I wanted what they had. Like I saw a guy, muscle bound, fitness, just rock solid, on his knees, tears in his eyes, and just like, and I was jealous because it was my first time in church, and I just, you know, we don't know the process, we don't know the different things, but when that word sunk in, and I saw people just, I don't care who's looking at me, I don't care what's going on, I'm in the moment, I'm in the word. That's what inspired me to have this podcast, ladies and gentlemen. I keep talking about the smile. Yeah, my cheeks are fat, but I'm still smiling. But that's the importance of having a relationship with Jesus. And I couldn't imagine, I just gave you something for AMARE. But like, you know, they talk about first responders, police.
He gave us a check, by the way, if anybody didn't catch that.
That's okay.
Thank you very much for
That's
that.
because I was creeping. And no, listen, like when you said, nobody knows you're out there. Because I chose to creep and I saw the different programs that you do.
Yep.
And that's what I was kind of going back to my squirrel moment. I would love if somebody would volunteer their time, because I ain't got the money. But the thing that I didn't expect when I was talking about the podcast, I didn't expect to get these resources. Like, I'm meeting great people. I'm getting to know you on a personal level. But when we talk about the world is struggling, what I read, what you guys are doing on top of the other organizations with Tammy and Riverbend Family Ministries, going back to the word free, come as you are, whatever it may be. So you guys are what I would call the first responders of people are coming to you at such a tough moment in their time.
Absolutely. And I feel like it's such a privilege to be able to be in the building with Tammy, because that's the thing that gets people in the doors, because they come in for showers and for laundry and sometimes help with their bills. And sometimes they're ready to say, hey, I want to make some serious changes. And we also have one of our other coaches is down with St. Vincent de Paul. And, you know, they're doing big things down there. They're getting ready to open their overnight shelter, and they're meeting people where they are and feeding them and giving them what they're ready for. Sometimes they're ready to make change, and sometimes they're ready to eat some food and leave.
Sure.
And that's okay, because when they're
It's
ready,
the first step.
We're there.
You know, and like I was even, when I say diving in, it was like even if I was listening, like if there's court cases,
Yes,
that you guys are advocates, and that's a big
Absolutely.
word that I use on the show, is being a voice, being an advocate.
Man, if you could see the things, and I will call out Samantha in particular, because she has used her own lived experience in her addiction and losing her kids and having to go through all of that. She's used all of that to help other women keep their children and fight for them and get their lives back on track. And it is absolutely, you would burst into tears if you heard. I mean, even just the other day, it happened again, and she's like, they're taking pictures in the courthouse and taking kids home, and it's beautiful. And Sam is a force for good. She's incredible.
And the reality is people don't know that these programs exist out there, because you guys are going, you're doing your thing. And
we're not great at marketing.
I know, but you're focusing on the people, and the marketing comes when it's available to you. Folks, I'm telling you, this is what I love. The opportunities to meet people, the resources. This is a true blessing. Again, Riverbender Radio, Hentrick family, because we truly hope that, again, with Lindsay and I talking about Tammy, Riverbend Family Ministry, Steve Pegram, Got Faith Ministry, TC. How awesome was that New Attitude Recovery House?
He's doing incredible things in the community.
Yes, and that's what it is we need more love in this community. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and bring this up. So You're Beautiful is usually a little bit more intimate, where it's just, Lindsay and I getting to learn each other, but Guilty is charged. The last 2 days I was doing my research on AMARE and I'm so intrigued with it. We got to put it on blast. So I'm just going to do this.
Absolutely.
We got to put this out there. I saw it. It's in my backyard, Bethalto, Rockin for Recovery,
whoop, whoop.
September 20th.
Yes.
And I would imagine you could still use volunteers.
Absolutely.
Right. So, folks, if you remember when we talk about volunteering, if you remember, a lot of times I'll talk to you. Are you the... Whoa, hello. Trust is hitting all the wrong buttons again. Look at... Hey, there we go. Making the blooper reel. But we've talked about this. I said, are you the individual who feels like it's Groundhog's Day and every day's the same, and you're just sitting home with your back against the wall, anxiety, stress, depression? One of the number one go-tos that I've shared with you is be a volunteer. Okay?
Absolutely.
When and don't get me wrong, I know it's not easy. It's like being invited to church, and you want to go to church, but you pull up in the parking lot, but you don't recognize anybody to walk into the church. So meet them in the parking lot, just like I told you where I was at. But if you need me, I'll come get you.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to volunteer, listen, you're already watching this interview with Lindsay, that if you want to be a volunteer, but you feel like an introvert and you're shy, I could already tell just by meeting you, hey, we're there, okay?
Absolutely.
And here's what's going to happen. You're going to volunteer, and I promise you this, that when it's all said and done, how many times have you said, I don't want to go there, I don't want to do this, then you go there and it was like such a great time, like I need to do this more often, right? Let's go!
I mean, I will tell you. So, first of all, Rockin' for Recovery is so much fun. We've got bands, and again, it's a free event for the community, and we're out there celebrating. Like, people who show up to this event and people who are putting on the resource booths are people who have walked their road of recovery, and they have been successful, whether there's relapses or not. We tell stories. There's going to be food trucks and desserts, and there's a kids area. It's a great time. And, it becomes such a close-knit community because of the things that we're all kind of struggling with, and we're able to be open about it. It's really, really beautiful.
I'm very excited about it. Like I said, this is probably the most homework I've put into it.
But
Go.
Let me just tell you, because here's the other thing. So we just had NAMI move in the building with us. So they're in the offices next to us. And if you don't know, NAMI is the National Alliance on Mental Illness. So I'm just going to blast them really quickly because they're amazing. And that morning, they're doing a walk for mental health. So, if you don't want to do Rockin' for Recovery, go and find out about NAMI's walk, and reach out if you have any questions, because there's tons of things going on, especially in the month of September is Recovery Month.
Okay.
So we're doing all kinds of big things.
And I'm super, super excited. That's why I wanted to do that.
Love it.
I seen, is it Danny Renke?
Yes.
Am I pronouncing that
Yes.
right? Okay.
Yep.
Last time I seen
Dano.
you, hey Dano, last time I seen you was on the softball field. I know you didn't expect 300 pounds to move the way that I did, but that's gone, and I went up on the weight class there. But this is truly so exciting. It's. I always like to say this: you're putting unity in the community.
Absolutely, and that's such a gift anyway, because we all need community, regardless of what kind of community it is. So, come on out.
Come on out now on one of these flyers. So they can go on Facebook. They can go where can they find more information?
Yes, Facebook is a great, reliable source for that. And our website it's on the struggle bus, but we're working on it. And
am I reading that right? AMAREN. Okay. AMARE,
yes, AMARE and
organization. Okay.
yes,
.org.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yep.
I like that.
Absolutely.
Get back to this camera right here.
Yeah, we still need sponsors. We still need volunteers. And if you want to be a vendor, we have space for vendors still. If you pay $25 and you can have a vendor's booth.
That's it. $25.
$25. Yep.
So affordable, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, it is.
And more importantly, for such a great cause.
Yes, absolutely. So let me tell you a little bit why it's a great cause for you to invest in, not just what we're doing right now, but AMARE has big plans for more progressive things to help in this cause. So we want to have a sober living house that is run by a peer support specialist, and then also a community center where we can have events and meetings and, just a place for people to be, because one of the biggest issues that we're still continually running into is, when you come out of running the streets and whatever, you have to drop all your friends, because those are the people, places, and things that were keeping you stuck. And you're in this new path and you're alone because you don't have any sober friends. And that's the thing that we want to build up with AMARE is creating opportunities for people to get connected with each other so that they can build a new community of sober people who are like-minded, doing the same thing they're doing. It's good stuff.
How awesome.
Yeah,
would
but
that
we
be?
need money for that, y'all.
But-
We need your money. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but that is part of it.
The cost of living's ridiculous
You
right
know
now.
what
Just
I'm
starting with the AMARE. So, yeah. So I don't know if I was allowed to say that, so I retract that. I apologize for that. I'll tell you what. I got more with you. Let's go to one more commercial break, and then we'll get to wrapping this up. We'll be right back, y'all.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Linux system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1 million. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
Neighborhood, living in the present, not what I shoulda or could. I remember back when I was low as a rug. Now I'm standing up, look at what my father does, turning all things new, gray skies blue. Hear the church say, won't he do it? I know he's got my back.
All right, get ready to sing.
That's why I'm singing that I'm about to have a good day.
How about you?
No matter what they say. Sun is shining down on me. Birds are singing brave.
We're about to have a good day. Isn't that so much fun?
I love that song.
How music can just like get you going.
Yeah. I mean, that song in particular really can change my mood.
I love it.
Really
So, because we're just getting to know each other. They're probably tired of hearing about baseball, but I'm a huge fan of baseball. My kids are into baseball, and I just want to take a moment with this. By the way, Ryan Summer, I haven't forgotten, you're the one who introduced me to Forrest Frank, and ever since then, the top of my playlist, not only that, my kids' walk-up songs in baseball.
Boom.
Yes.
Love that.
Yes.
That's
so
cool.
it's the silent representation of the shirt.
Absolutely.
It's the Hardee's unpaid commercial blasting just great music. You know, and folks, again, just because you hear me talking in a relationship with Jesus, listen, I fall short. You probably see me on a Friday, Saturday night, somebody dialing me out of the bar. I don't know. That was just hearsay. But anyways, what I'm getting at is, listen, we have a flesh life. And I encourage you to live the most awesomest flesh life that you can. But I'm also encouraging you, if you don't have Jesus in your life, yesterday was the time. And kind of going back on commercial break, when you have Jesus in your life, you could be the one that were only a thread's holding you together, or you have these struggles, but because of shame, we don't publicly announce it. We don't just put it out there because pride and ego gets in the way. But here's what happens. When you have that relationship with Jesus and you see that shirt or you hear that music, the power of your mindset, knowing that it's going to be okay. Because if you're living today and you're functioning today, right? Mm-hmm. Whatever battle you had yesterday, God already fought that for you.
Well, and sometimes it's just burning those impurities out.
Woo! Look at that. You see how we do that? Not even stage. And I love that. So I'm going to pick on you a little bit because I see we have matching personalities.
I'm ready.
So when I tell you guest, I'm only going to ask you 2 questions. What's your favorite scripture? And, what's your favorite song? I got extrovert over here. Reminds me a lot like me, so we're just going to put her on the spot. Okay. So
I'm ready.
You told me where you work, and again, I commend you. I think this is absolutely fabulous. And you already do it. So what I'm asking you to help me out is with the viewers and with the listeners, the ones with the back against the wall, with the struggles and the different things. Is there something that you could share with your beautiful listeners that if they don't have a relationship with Jesus, but listen, if they're watching a show, they got to know about him, okay? What advice or what can Lindsay share with people that, what's the step? What's the 101? How can they start this relationship? Or if they feel that God failed them, they know God, but they cast the blame. What are some things that you might be able to encourage and inspire others?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like just the idea of doing it scared, like make the call or find out what's available, because if people would just get connected with AMARE, it's like jumping on a train to where you're trying to go. Instead of trying to hike up the mountain, you just get on the train and somebody guides you along the way to help you get connected with the resources that you need and give you the options that are available. And it's free to have somebody walk alongside you to help you figure out what you need to get where you want to go. And gosh, who doesn't need that? I mean, even just outside of recovery, really, a lot of people just say, this person helped me get my life together. A lot of times people who are unhoused in our community, they don't have their ID and they don't have their birth certificate. And it's like, you can't get a job without those things. So, people come to AMARE and we help them figure out, how to make it happen, to get past these obstacles that are stopping people from being able to make changes.
So, and I love that, because when you say that, to me, and I don't want to belittle this, it sounds simpler than what it is. And I use Dave Wilson, love you. My analogy is, when we're struggling and we're looking for an answer, the blessings are in front of us, but because of our flesh life, we always have to just go around the blessings and to look for it. So with what you're sharing with me, those resources are out there, other than the marketing at this time. We're working on that. But
hey, I'm here.
No, right, we're here.
Talking about it right now.
But I guess if we could all swallow that pride, that shame. Now, let me take it one step further. Where I keep preaching You're Beautiful, a podcast about loving yourself, is there anything that you could tell our viewers and listeners somewhere along those lines with the importance of having a foundation of Jesus, the Word?
I really love, if you've ever seen the picture with this little girl, and she's holding a teddy bear, and Jesus is kneeling down in front of her and asking for the teddy bear. And behind his back, he's got this giant friggin' teddy bear. Okay. And it's like, she can't see that. And she doesn't want to give up her teddy bear. But I really feel like that's such a picture of sometimes we're so, focused on what's familiar and where we are and what we know. And we just limit how abundantly God provides and loves us. It's kind of ridiculous when you think about it, because his ability to make things happen in our lives is just, it's so far beyond anything we can imagine. But we have to let go of what we're gripping. You can't receive things when you have your hands closed. So when you're able to let go and open your hands up, that gives God the opportunity. I always talk about people being the Jordan River and not the Red Sea, because the Jordan River, water flows into it and out of it freely. So give and take and receive, and just it flows. But when you're the Red Sea, the water comes in, but it's stagnant and it stinks. So, but that's because it's not flowing out. Just like those, when the pond gets all.
Well, it's kind of like what you were talking about earlier. We were talking about being complacent. We're comfortable.
Yes.
And to take it one step further, and I 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
Like you said, you have this bigger teddy bear behind his back.
Huge.
Again, I'm going back to the importance of a relationship with Jesus, and I'm going to talk about faith. If you believe, here, he wants you to talk to him, right? That's our Father. If you're having a great day or you're having a bad day, it's just like here. Right now, kids are going back to school. My 11-year-old had 6th grade orientation today, right? He had baseball tryouts. I want to hear about his day. Yeah. Folks, that's the relationship with Jesus. That's your intimate opportunity to take a moment and just start rambling, even if it's terrible, okay? He wants to hear you. And what I'm getting at is when you have that intimate relationship, you're going to grow faith. You're going to trust in his word. So I like to say these 3 things: ask, believe, receive. I don't know if you've heard that before, but I'll dive more into it at another time because I got the squirrel mind going on right now. But if you got faith, you've got the faith and confidence to ask him for it because you believe in him. He comes through.
Absolutely.
Receive. It just can't be a flying, hey, I'm going to win the lottery and you don't buy a lottery ticket.
Can I tell you a little story about that?
Please, let's go, girl.
Gosh, it's the coolest story I have.
I want to hear it.
So I was living in San Diego a couple of years ago. 15 years I was there. That's another story. We won't go into that. But I came back here to visit because this is where I grew up and saw my mom, and she was in bad shape. And I flew back to San Diego, and I was like, I need to go. I need to be there. I have to be there. But San Diego is everything to me. My church was there. All my friends. My entire adult life was in San Diego. And, I love it in this area. There's no beaches and there's no mountains. It was a really big, it was a big deal for me to move. But I did feel like God was closing the door in San Diego and kind of opening this one. And it's like, okay, I went back home and got rid of everything. And within 3 weeks, I was here. And within 5 months, my mom had passed away. And at the time I was working for the street department in Roxana, which if you don't know, there's not a lot of people there. So I was basically the trash lady, and they don't have the mechanical thing. You like jump off the truck and throw the bag in the trash truck. It's like handling, that was trash soup every day. So I'm like, okay, God, what? And then my mom passed away, and it was like, wow. I mean, I never could have imagined how important it was going to be for me to be here and make peace with my mom. That was everything. And then a month after that, I got my job at AMARE.
That is awesome.
As a family recovery coach. My mom struggled with alcohol. And being the person that I needed, there's nothing better than that. And I couldn't have come up with that on my own. I didn't even know this was a job.
So deja vu moment, and like I said, there's things out there that what do some people say? You throw it out there and it's just, the universe. You just shared pretty much an almost identical story to me. What? My family was on vacation. We're from Florida. Okay. Living here. We went down to Florida. I can't make this up. If they had that camera that followed you so you're not just telling stories. So we got off of a cruise line. I said, hey, this is the closest I'm going to be to my mom and dad. Do you care if I go visit my dad? I heard he's in the hospital. So I went to go visit my dad in the hospital. And this is the part you can't make up. He's looking at me in the doorway. He's like, I just tried calling you at your job. And they always screen my calls. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to talk to Brian. He goes, I was just calling you. And I go, well, Dad, I'm here. Speed the conversation up. When we went back home, I had told my wife, I said, something doesn't feel right. I need to go back. And I don't know if that's the same feeling that you had. That's how I took it. But I was able to be there with my dad for his last breath. Yeah. So the world stopped. Yep. I didn't care. I was able to be there. And just what a great moment. And I don't even know why I'm saying. I'm just saying because have the same.
When you have that experience, there's nothing that could, I'm so grateful to be able to have been there. I got to hold her hand. And
yes.
man, I just don't know what I would have done if I hadn't been able to have that moment. It was just such a gift, and an unanticipated moment that I needed, and that God knew. He knew, and that's, my kids got to spend time with my mom, and now we're here. My dad doesn't have her anymore, and I have 5 kids, so he's busy a lot now.
Right. Hey, you want to pick up 6 more? They need to go to baseball. Hey, somebody sold you wrong. So how long have you been in this area then? Because from San Diego, roughly.
I'm 2 years now.
Okay, because we got the Mississippi Ocean and the Bluff Mountains.
You know what?
What?
There is a spot right across the river, right after you cross the bridge, and I go down there now. Well, I know I gave away my spot, but the sunset has been absolutely stunning. If I squint my eyes, it looks like La Jolla Shores.
Okay, so you're envisioning. That's where you put our kayaks in over there, so it's not just your spot. So this is cool. We got a little bit more time. How about and again, you've done. This is so awesome. All those that are listening and that are watching. Before we go to any type of a conclusion, I need your help. I need your help in a couple ways. Are you resourceful where you could help build a website that would absolutely help Riverbend Family Ministries, AMARE? I guess what I'm trying to share with you.
No, we have a website.
Well, not necessarily. Okay, I'm looking for a resource website. So for all the people that I've had on the show, I've told you when the show started out, it was me getting to know the person and the person drawing them into where they're at today.
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
I never knew that this podcast would turn out to be such a great information resource.
Yeah.
And what I would love to do is to have some help by somebody putting all these things out there, not just the websites, but the different things that they do, whether it's broken down by zip code or because that's the whole power of the radio, the internet, the social media. So it's not always a bad tool, okay? If you use the tool properly, and we can maybe even come up with some kind of a hashtag, I don't know what it is, but, for help, Earlier you said mental health. Oh, my goodness. To me, that's up there. So I'm looking for your help. If you could help build something with me, not for me, but with me, so we could be not above. We just want to let people know what's out there, the resources that are available to them, the contacts. Then the other thing, I need your help. If you've enjoyed our podcast, I need your testimony. We dance, right? We dance. We hug. So if you'd like to be a guest, I know I've been advised not to, but here's my cell number. You can find it in the bathroom stalls. 618-530-7875. Please text me because I don't answer unrecognizable numbers. I might have a bill due. But I need your help. And the show's live every Thursday from 2 to 3 p.m. We just met. Did we have fun?
It's very live.
Yeah,
there's no talking about what we're going to talk about. We just show up and do it. So I dig it.
Like how hot it is in here right now. Yeah.
It's a little bit warm.
Woo! All right. So, hey, you got any shout outs or anything?
I have one more thing I want to, because, so I have a partner who also, I just got back from Georgia. And I did a week-long training for suicide intervention.
I got your text.
And so, so we're going to be at the Wedge. We're actually going to rent. If you guys have you seen the space? The space in the Wedge is absolutely stunning. And they have done an incredible job of creating spaces for us to do community events like this. So we're going to be holding a suicide intervention training so that it's not prevention, it's not postvention. It's that moment when you realize that someone might be considering suicide, and teaching you how to become comfortable with having the conversation, because there's a lot of scary things around calling different phone numbers and getting law enforcement involved. But what if we had, and they talk about suicide safer communities. And what if we had a bunch of people in the community who are trained and comfortable with having the conversation of like, hey, are you thinking about killing yourself? Like, let's talk about what's going on. Like, and being able to really hold space for somebody is sometimes what we need. So
And I love that because there
training.
is the fear that
Absolutely.
sometimes if you call the police or if you do something that it might stay permanent on your record, but you really
They
need
might be
that help.
handcuffed.
Yeah, you really
they might
need
be
that
taken
help.
to the hospital. Yeah.
No, so we got to put some resources out on the website. But listen, we just got out of time. There's that big neon sign out there. I don't know if you could read it from right there.
Oh, well, you know I took a picture.
Oh,
with that
here
sign.
we go. So on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. You're beautiful.